Yeah, really. How did they intervene there?
Good point.
As long as he doesn't say a bad word, he's okay.
No, that's just iRacing.
What if Klein protests?
Oh wait, this is iRacing.
This is iRacing.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The road to $500,000 ends with the crowning of a world champion here.
Hey, I haven't mentioned any names, so I'm good.
NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte,
Yeah, as long as he doesn't pull a Larson.
The championship race of the 2024 eNascar Coka Cola
Canadian Internet
Series. Alongside myself, Evan Fitzgerald, joined by Blake McCandless, Alan Cavani. You guys have been getting us set throughout Countdown to Green. Qualifying's in the books, minutes away from dishing out $100,000 to our series champion.
Every single year that we have done this, there is a totally different...
Oh, they got the marching band again. That's so cool.
Everything that's going on here just builds a totally unique atmosphere that you can...
It looks very dark there.
It's the Carolina Panthers. What else do they got to do? They don't actually play football.
Every single time it feels brand new to these drivers, and boy, does it gets me excited just being here.
Oh, Austin Dillon is there.
What we're used to in this competition, in this series, but Steven Wilson's been here so much.
Charlotte Hornets.
How much of an advantage that provides. Bobby Zielinski's been here before. You wonder how much of an advantage that is over Parker White, young Parker White, who's making it here for the first time. I talked to him earlier. Didn't seem too phased, too rattled, but experience seems to win on this race.
He's the only driver who's never been in this setting before. Everybody has seemed pretty loose today, but they've been here for a long time. It's time to get ready for this one to get underway. So I think we're about ready to get this race started. To do so, let's toss things over towards the driver stage.
Don't try to squeeze in another truck race here.
Welcome to the championship round of the 2024 eNascar Coka Cola iRacing Series.
Am I the only one that just has a white screen on the screen?
These drivers battled all season long.
Close your porn down, please.
And are just one race away from $100,000.
It's all the feet videos.
Junior Trophy and becoming a NASCAR.
Yeah, Facebook dating is what it is.
It's time to meet your championship 4 drivers.
I met my wife on Bumble, so.
Hey, how can I send somebody a link to watch that? Join us on Discord.
At least she didn't say Grinder.
Chevrolet Camaro for Williams Esports.
John, there's a link in the lounge chat.
You can also click on the little arrow next to iRacers Lounge and choose invite people. Click on that little down carrot.
The driver intros here are awesome.
Driving the number 48 Toyota Camry for the Kansas City Pioneers. From Houston, Texas. Trying to put the W in his name.
Raced him the other day.
It's Graham Bolin.
He's the bad boy.
I was so proud of myself. I was only 1,000ths away from his average lap time.
So what's he got on his neck there? Denver
awesome.
Broncos?
What is that? Is that a stallion?
That was some chain. That's like... You know.
It's the team that he drives for.
I was just going to say.
From Fresno, California. Looking to finally win.
He's repping his middle school.
This is the guy. This is the guy I'm cheering for.
Okay, look, everybody call out who you think's going to win. I'm picking
Bobby.
Graham Bolin.
I got to root for the guy, Parker guy.
Parker, I meant.
Greg, I'm not even in
Flies
it.
planes.
Wilson.
Bobby Zielinski works for Denny, doesn't he?
No, that's Leahy.
Leahy, that's what it was. Okay, sorry, it was Leahy.
I don't like Wilson's personality.
Wilson's probably the favorite tonight.
Most consistent all year.
Yeah, he's going to be the favorite.
But
I'm going to pick Bobby.
I like that car.
It is cool looking.
Got Jimmy Johnson's car in the background while you're racing.
That's a weird-ass monitor.
How about you new guys? I don't know if you have a mic, but if you do, who do you pick?
They're all muted.
We're going racing at Homestead in just a moment.
Every time you sit behind the wheel, you buckle up for the unexpected. You get ready to take on the competition and brace yourself for the chaos, the speed, the weather, the unknown. But above all, when strapping in,
If you don't want to chat on the mic, you can put it in you can chat here, can't you?
Yeah, I think I enabled it.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to stop you from winning.
Oh, they give Sim Seats some free advertising in exchange for their time to help them set up the rigs, probably.
Provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting,
Maybe.
and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit.
That's a pretty cool trade-off, though, if that's the deal.
And it's not. I wouldn't call it free advertising. It's just paid for in labor.
And remember,
I wonder what the advertisement rate is with this.
Oh, I think word on the street is with the McConey guy, he funds all his own stuff. I don't think he's a money like, there's no way his setup shop is paying enough for all of that. There's no way.
You'd be surprised. He has no overhead. So, I mean, it's pure revenue.
Well,
I bet it does.
I'm guessing he pays
Hey, the people making the sets.
He's got to pay them to make the sets.
Well, yeah, but I imagine that's no huge salary.
I don't know.
You
It
wonder.
just seems to me like there's not any revenue in that. There's a little, but it's not enough to cover something like this.
Did you think about
and
it?
I've heard before that he's funded stuff on his own. Because this isn't the first business he's been in as McConey.
You think about him funding even the setup shops. If you buy a full season, not like look at what David's done. He's not run a full season of using a setup shop for certain things that we're using.
So let's hand things off to
type
tonight's
thing, right?
Grand
So,
Marshal. It's NASCAR
you know,
Cup
some
Series
people fall
driver
off.
and
You get that
Team
full
Dillon
revenue
Esports
of a full
owner,
season, though.
Austin
Still.
Dillon.
They're doing God's work out here with that thing shut off.
Well, let's go down trackside and take a look at your starting grid for
Greg,
tonight's home
go full
stretch
screen.
150 as the cars roll behind the virtual pace car. It'll be a tie for the fastest start.
No.
No, we can see the chat and everything of YouTube.
His Tony Kadon, number 11, will start from the front row, and he is joined by the defending series
There you go.
champion. It is
Nice.
the M80 number 10, is Steven Wilson, who starts tonight in second. Row number 2, we'll see the Williams Esports 53 car of Parker White in search of a first eNascar championship. He's joined by the VS Competition 89 machine of Garrett Lowe. Back on row number 3, inside the Joe Gibbs Racing 54 of Daniel Falkenham. To his outside, it's the Pioneers number 20 machine. That's Wyatt Tinsley.
A Homestead? I thought they were Phoenix.
Starting 7th on
No,
the
it's always
grid tonight, the second
Homestead.
of the Williams Esports cars. It's the
I
They know
wish.
what's up.
Not always Homestead.
Yeah, exactly. I wish it would go back.
Unless, well, has there only been 12 seasons?
And around out
Isn't
your
next
top
year
10
probably the
qualifiers.
last year
Inside
that they
row
go
5, the
Phoenix, and then
Oxygen
it sounds
Esports
like they're
number
going to
5 is
Homestead
Zach
again?
Novak. He's next to the 2311 Racing 45.
God, I hope
Wait,
so.
that sound. Wait, you're saying NASCAR's going to make a smart decision?
Well, I mean, it would make sense to why they put Homestead early in the season next year.
Come on, they're gonna put horsepower back in the cars so Carl Edwards can come race at 2311.
From 13th, one of his best qualifying efforts of the year is Tyler Gary for eRacers.
tease me like that.
For Nitro Circus.
Mike just had a wet dream right there. Horsepower and Carl Edwards.
Don't dangle that feather.
For Nitro Circus as well, starts directly behind his
Not a fan of the guy. That should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, cousin Carl.
Esports, it's Taylor Hurst, the number 33.
Absolutely should not be in there. You don't just walk away from the sport and still get in the Hall of Fame.
Took his ball and went home.
Starting in 19th tonight for KHI, Kevin Harvick Incorporated. It's the 29 of
Jimmy Mullins is my
Jordy
hero.
Lopez round out your top 20 for BS Plus competition.
That takes us halfway home. Row number 11.
Is he Canadian?
Motorsports,
No,
number
it's just
38
I just like his
car.
picture.
Fresh driving an eNascar Coke Series debut as a backup driver. Next to him is the Oxygen Esports 22 of Femi Olatunbosun. Row number 12 inside the William Byron Esports number.
Oh, there's one thing that's consistent over the years, and that's Evan Pasoko.
66 car of Colin.
I miss having him on the show.
Number 13 inside.
Yeah, he was great.
77 of Casey Kerwin, and it is Graham Bolin in the.
It was a lot of work though for me to do that.
He doesn't do Monster Jam anymore, does he?
Row number 14.
I think that's still his job. Yeah.
Is it? I haven't. I still
He
passionately
got
watch.
promoted. Yeah, he's like the manager of the event or something.
Okay, he's not on air then.
Ooh, Bowden.
No, he's operational.
Okay.
Colin Bowden.
Look at that hair.
Man, that adds 15 horsepower, no doubt.
Ooh, Bobby's starting way back, eh?
Yeah, that's what. I just noticed you doing that lately, Greg. I've never noticed that before.
He's coming into his nationality.
Yeah, we're good.
Like, I always heard Canadians did that, but I never noticed until the other day.
You didn't notice how many times I say sorry as well?
Yeah.
So this is funny. So NASCAR tweeted yesterday a video of the Chase Briscoe Kyle Busch incident where Kyle hit the wall, and they said this one still has us shaking our heads. And I replied back, "It's the car. It has too much downforce from the bottom of the car. So when Chase pulls up and takes the air off, it's undrivable. Take all the crap off the bottom of the car and add 300 horsepower, and you might have something." Duh.
What are you playing, Tyler?
I am keyed up for fixed in the trucks. 25 laps. Did a run earlier, got 11th. Obviously wrecked, but it's more interesting watching my youngest try to play Monster Jam.
Have you all seen the additions they made to the cars for this weekend?
I saw it quickly.
Yeah.
Nah.
The Mohawk idea, the little fabric thing in the corner.
Yeah, that, and there's something else in the right front or right rear, I can't remember. And then I think the windshield piece as well.
Did they
Wow,
actually add
no
the-
windshield piece.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
they take it out?
They didn't get it
Yeah.
passed. The drivers
the
were-
roof rail has a 2-inch thing on it.
Just keep putting band-aids on this fucking car.
Blades.
I want nobody to get hurt, but I do hope somebody gets upside down.
I see what you're
So
doing.
look at my
there, Brad.
tiny little beer.
That's it.
This is what Biden's inflation has done to me. Now my beers are 7 ounces instead of 12.
That's a pony.
You mean your water's 7 ounces?
That's piss. That's piss.
My Coronito Mexico beer?
Isn't your beer like only 1% over there?
Homestead, and of course at a different track.
No, it's probably like 3 or 4. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I don't mind the Corona, but I gotta have the lime.
Oh, Barney, come on, Barney.
Mine's 5%.
You drinking Rolling Rock? What is that?
Heineken.
Oh, the Heine. All right, over under on the first caution.
Lap 3.
That means.
Did you just say Garrett Bates?
Yeah.
I was thinking lap, but yeah, we can do names.
Oh, they're about to have one. They're 5 wide.
Fucking man, I picked the wrong horse. I think was Zelinsky way back. How the hell are they not wrecking? Oh, there it is.
Oh, that is nuts.
Laying on each other.
Was that 5 wide? Oh!
As this thing stays green for the moment. And that was right in front of Bobby Zelinsky. You can see one car gets way beneath the apron further on back in the pack, but Zelinsky very quickly tried to go up to the top. You could kind of see Graham Bolin doing the same thing. I think it's not a bad strategy to employ
Those micro center paint schemes are such a disappointment. There's so much more you can do with them.
worry about saving all your tires and everything like that later. On board, look there with Taylor Hurst.
Oh,
who is
God.
one of the drivers with
Why'd they put her on there?
Jonathan Delaney, the other car in that camp, and Austin just
Yeah, that's the new RCR head of RCR, or will be.
He'd be better doing that than behind the wheel.
He needs to be management.
What did he say he had left? 2 years in his contract?
This is one of my favorite tracks.
I think it's
Sure.
2025.
Track I have my best average finish on, so I love watching racing here. It's probably one of the best tracks we go to in NASCAR.
His dad was better in a management role than behind the wheel.
One of our good partners at Team Dillon.
That's true.
He
His
can
dad
manage-
was a Bush driver for a
Very
while.
true.
He can manage his brother then.
I just think the ability to move around the racetrack. You know, you can find speed in different areas. You see the guys.
His brother probably belongs in management too.
You can get up right by the fence there and find a little grip late in a run. You can just
It was interesting to hear them talk about that RCR is going to be helping out Colleague.
Progressive banking really does well.
You see the midfield
That's why he's in the car.
Is in the thick of it. These races are pretty short, right? 100 laps.
Is it helping out, or I mean, RCR is going to do all the Cup stuff, and Colin's going to do all the Xfinity stuff, but it'll be under each of their own names.
Yeah, because it'll be an RC. I'm wondering if it's just going to maybe help them make it getting cheaper parts for Colleague. Maybe.
I think it's more about dividing up the labor force. So now you're only building the guys who are building Xfinity cars are only building Xfinity cars, and the guys building Cup cars are only building Cup cars.
That makes sense.
Well, if I'm an RCR guy, last thing I want to do is drive a Colleague Xfinity car.
Being a team owner, being a part of this, seeing this grow, what's this like from your perspective? You know, growing up as you did.
Well, the Colleague cars are only relevant on road courses in Cup, but that's driver related.
Watching the guys that are coming into our sport, you know, William Byron is one that's unbelievable when it comes to iRacing, and then working with him on Monday morning when we go and we're trying to make our simulator.
So I remember a championship Coke race where there was a later caution near the end, and what's his name came in and got tires, and he like drove up through the field in like this 2 or 3 laps.
The simulation that we bring each and every week, and we can.
The guy with the glasses, tall guy.
Every now and then, you know, hey, iRacing really does a good job at this. Where can we make our sim better?
We've seen a lot of that. I think a lot of the topic of conversation you guys were talking with on Countdown to Green as well is how drivers within the sim world are finding niches in real-life motorsports, if it's sim drivers, if it's testing.
Yeah, he lost it, yeah.
But he won the next year, didn't he?
Since Dale won the very first race, to see it how ingrained it is now, to your point, in real-life motorsports has...
Wasn't that the Zach Novak when he won?
Yeah, it was Novak and Leahy going at it.
Yeah, he got to him, and he could have took him, but instead he raced him fair.
Yeah, it was Ottinger who won that Homestead race after dicing through the field late with tires.
Yeah, that was one of our I think that was our first year during the watch party.
Yep.
I'd be curious to see if he regrets that decision now.
Enjoy the show, and looking forward to what the Team Dillon guys can do for the rest of the race.
So my point is, if there's a late caution, you got to get tires.
On behalf of the Coca Cola Racing family.
But remember, that was the old car, not this one.
Of course, reminder,
yeah.
If you're looking for where those championship 4 cars
You're right. It's probably better to stay out.
Highlighted in red, not only on the race cars, you're looking for the windshield banners, the spoilers, the red roof numbers, but they're also going to be highlighted in red on that scoring bar top of your screen. And the current running spot for those top...
Now, I haven't heard the other people besides the teammates in here. If you guys could talk, or if you have a mic, I see Disco Dave. I see Johnny, Steven, you guys want to key up and introduce yourselves? Or
that is a handful of positions gained, up 15. Graham is by far the biggest mover.
If not, that's cool too. But yeah, if you're available, yeah, say hi.
I might just be watching along.
Prepared for this race.
That's cool.
Not necessarily by just running laps here. Of course, everybody, the qualifying and all those things, you learn this track as much as you can, but with the new dynamic
Zelensky hasn't made very many moves.
Nope.
Told me a couple days ago, the biggest thing
So they got us the top 4 at the top as far as where they're running, but I would really like to see the cut line at the top 20 or bottom 20. You know what I mean? Because if you're bottom 20 after this race, you're relegated.
He said to him that was more important than necessarily just getting in and either trying to find speed in the setup.
It is more focused on the championship guys.
When you're put in a position like this where you have to gain all this track position, that's where that preparation, Alan, is so important.
Dude, the numbers on that 10 car are way too skinny.
Yeah.
Sitting there in second, what we didn't see was much competition, especially early. This is the exact opposite of what he had last year in his championship run. To have second and third,
It just doesn't look right.
Right on his bumper. This is different.
Why is Bobby Zelensky in 27th?
Comfortability that he probably had earlier on in the race. This is a different Steven Wilson has to race right now if he wants to win this.
He hasn't moved up?
And the 48 car continues on the move. That's down to the inside on Michael Guest. A battle for 8th on the racetrack. And the Price Chopper Toyota is through to that one as well. So,
yeah, just like real life.
Since I picked him.
Curious to see his lap times.
Off of the race leaders, but
He wouldn't have done that with like a strategy call, would he?
had a chance to spread out too much.
He's acting like Justin. We're going to ride around the back.
Most of those cars in his rearview mirror, he's passed in the opening.
You're gonna lose talent if he's like me.
Blake, you've also mentioned, you know, we could
Waiting for the first caution, then he'll go racing, right?
Clean and green up until the middle point.
Sometimes.
Right halfway, and it meant that everybody, at least for most of the race leaders, was relatively the same on pit strategy. You could also see a different race where you get a handful of yellows, those 3 tire sets come into play, but on a long green flag run, which you have to plan for early for Graham Bolin, is the 48 pushing
Tony
too
Stewart's
hard
just
early,
getting out of everything,
or is it
isn't he?
simply that car's really good?
Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. Bolin has been somebody throughout the season that is.
So is he getting out of the foundation, or is it going to get rebranded something else with his wife?
Nope, shut it down.
Championship for the thousands of laps that these guys have put in just for this race alone, I think pays dividends there. As you can see, Bolin, he makes up another spot here. But I think there is a balance, right? That you know you
That's good for him.
track position. You're kind of willing to take this risk, and if a caution does come out right now,
I can understand it. You know, he's spread too thin. You got to narrow down his focus a bit.
Out of Logan Clampett a couple of years ago at Texas, started all the way in the back, came up and finished just shy of being
Podcast when he talked about how him and Leah met. That was pretty good.
And I wonder if the pressure
Over COVID.
from White behind Allen is going to be an influence here on Steven Wilson to make a move for the race lead, right?
I didn't see that, but he certainly married up. She's a
The
looker.
last 2 times we've done this live event, P2 has been the benchmark.
Is there right? Is there many NASCAR drivers that have it married up?
That Steven enjoyed last
Remember when he was dating that one blonde girl and he literally called her dead weight
starting to put the pressure on Vicente Salas.
Damn.
after they broke up?
In terms of what you have to do.
I mean, look, even Danica had a pretty girl, Ricky.
Parker White on his talk about tire wear. You talk about the handling.
She dropped syndicate with A-Rod.
Did she wear the fire suit in that family?
Track position.
Whatever she did to that football player, he ain't been the same since.
Rogers.
I'm not saying his name.
Oh, wait. Whoever put up the picture of Kyle Busch and the family and then put that head from Talladega Nights on it, I laughed so freaking hard.
That New Jersey, whatever, Jets quarterback couldn't even last us more than a snap against the Bills.
Dale's there saying these cars need more horsepower.
Hell, he even went to an island and did mushrooms.
Enjoying this, including the man who has his name on the trophy that's sitting over there for one of the.
Yo, you gotta wonder what he did in his teenage or his like early years as a driver.
Look back at this 15-year history of this series, and the first
Still a
ever
drug
winner
testing back
in
then.
the eNascar Coka Cola iRacing Series was Dale
Oh,
Earnhardt Jr.
Zelensky
And
pushing it.
is on the trophy. There's an onboard look with Bobby Zelensky, kind of still in those.
I'm worried about Bobby here.
Dale Jr. and Tony said if they had cell phones with cameras back then, they probably would have been screwed.
He's dropped maybe a handful, if any, maybe up 6, I think, currently. So Bobby also chipping away. Again, it's not a long race, so there does have to be some sense of urgency, but again, still shy of 1/5 of the way through. Bobby Zelensky has been the most.
See it? There's the guy with the Formula wheel.
That this series has ever.
See, I tried that, and that lasted a race. It's too small.
There's a couple of them that use it.
I used to do it on
Bobby
the
also
road.
has some sort of disability, doesn't he?
In this championship 4 after missing out on
Yes.
it for a year, and everybody always
Yeah, I wonder if that's better for him physically.
He hosts a career best finish of 2nd in
I
the standings.
I'll run the
For the very first time here in
Formula wheel sometimes for the Cup car on the road courses, but I stopped doing that with this car.
Every year. Is this your year? Bobby Zelensky makes it back once again to be in this Championship 4. How tough that must be every single year just to make it into the Championship 4, and then you earn that, and you get the question, is it your year? Bobby Zielinski,
Staying in that low lane too.
Boy, that's tough on that low lane because you lose the draft down the backstretch.
one by one, but again, we talk about the tire wear. We talk about the
But if they have a long run, you'll have better tires.
yeah. But are there enough for him and enough car speed for him to make it in time? Again, these short races you keep mentioning.
Everybody always refers to the progressive banking here at Homestead, Blake. And to your
Oh,
point,
by the way, Greg, are you going to practice spa this week?
basically every half
I have to buy it.
there in between. Do you race the track differently?
You don't. You got it.
What?
Or are you simply chasing speed
Just
into what
kidding.
the better lane is, whether that's up front or in the back?
Well, again, I think
We're doing it in the
like the most about how this
Cadillac.
Hell yeah. There's Wilson with the Formula wheel, the GSI.
Whether that's in the middle, where that's on the high side, and that's not necessarily the same for every.
There's
single
no way
driver
I
out
could
there.
do
You can see
that.
these front
Do the
two right
race
now,
in a
they're not
sweater.
having any pressure, talk to these
Man,
guys.
Mosport, the last race I ran was wet, and that was a struggle.
Save your tires, so you don't really see.
It was really wet. It was like 60%.
I'm not looking to. Spa's going to be really wet.
Start to test out these lanes and kind of work them in, and I think there's.
Haven't looked at the forecast yet.
Crew chiefs in the ears, especially of these Championship 4, that I think will tell them exactly where everybody's moving. You can see Parker White dipping out to get a little bit of clean air, but also.
I was just thinking, I would have to have a fan blowing on me. If I don't have a fan blowing on me, I ain't racing.
Just depends on how cool it is at the Hall of Fame too, I guess.
Even if it was cool, I still think I need a fan.
I always have a fan going no matter what, all year round.
Mike, they got pretty cold with all that equipment in there.
Mike makes the Final Four and walks off because they didn't give him a fan.
Well, I got a win sim.
Oh no, you bastard!
All right, it says chance of rain none for the spa race.
What was the chance at Fuji? Was it none too?
I didn't look at that. I looked at the actual forecast and read it wrong.
Well, continuing to lead this race from
The real question is, since we're racing at Homestead and it's in Florida, it should be like a 90% chance of rain.
You seriously looked up like
We're talking
Fuji
about
weather?
No, I looked at there. When you click on the race, like you can look at the view forecast.
Yeah.
And you can see the hourly forecast of the rain. And what I misread it. It's just the humidity that it's changing, but the percent. Yeah, there's no rain this weekend.
Well, that'll be good.
The highest team, and with Parker White and Donovan Strauss having
Is it in the dark?
early, things looking good for the Williams Esports.
Let me open back up. I didn't look at what the start time was.
Dude, these are all things I should have checked.
Wilson knocking on the door. He's got a little bit of breathing room, just a bit over White, but that 53 car still within a car.
5:20 p.m. start, so it will get dark.
Yeah, probably by the time I take over, it'll be dark.
This home 10 finale.
I will say though, if you're Wilson,
You should be used to it by now.
I don't want to say you're not racing that 11 car in front of you because he's on the racetrack.
Did you hear my story about Fuji?
Yeah, I heard it.
That could open the door for Parker White.
If we have a good story or something funny, Greg, maybe you video record and then we clip it and do a clip.
I have it. I'm recording this in the background as well.
Story time.
Right, so take note if we say something funny, and so you can clip it.
Parker White to make a move on him, Alan. If he goes to make a move for
The days of our Canadian stories.
go well, it could also open up the door for Parker White. So Stephen Wilson kind of facing that double pressure as that stuff continues to go on amongst the race leaders. Jumping it back a little bit, the 12, the 25, we've been.
That's why I was hoping some of the guys that came in that aren't part of the team would come in and talk.
Cannot get away from each other as they run now. Lots of single file, but every time we head down the backstretch, there's at least 2-3 cars sticking out of line. There's an onboard look with Garrett Maines just behind the number 29 machine. You can see even here midfield, still a handful of drivers riding the fence. It's the sim seats on board.
I race with his dad all the time now, it seems like.
He wrecked me at New Hampshire.
He's wrecked everybody at some point, hasn't he?
No, his dad, Jason.
Oh.
Did he own up to it?
I've been wrecked by
He did. He did.
Yeah.
He usually does.
There's a difference between mistakes and people who just are, Michael McLean's.
Jason and him both race in the Winter Series, right? That's where we get them most of the time.
Window there, of course, is real life
Yeah, that's right.
as well, and again, just because we have the 4 championship drivers,
It's not called the Winter Series anymore. What did
Polar
Alan
bear or
say it's
something.
called?
Or something.
more comfortably, I would suggest,
Yay.
than the 4 drivers that are here in a different environment, listening to us, bleed through their headphones. He is at home where he normally is, and there's the contrast as our 4 drivers here at the NASCAR Hall of Fame on display to all of us, if you will.
And I think we talked about it pre-race. Garrett Main's one of those drivers that's fighting, and it does have a shot.
How many viewers do they have on the YouTube?
If he's able to do that, he doesn't have to worry about contenders.
I can't see because if I click it, it's going to go. Let me click it and I'll go back.
Hang on, I'll look.
YouTube's got 1,200 watching.
Wow, that's about double what they normally get.
About a car length or so from Parker White.
The patience of Parker White is impressive.
I was just trying to see if
early on, because right now it's all on Stephen Wilson.
how many people here.
Oh.
Caution.
Caution for what?
It's a tough night because they're going up against baseball wild card.
Is still in the lead, has to be
Put it out.
This can be tires and fuel at lap 30 for sure.
Perfect time for Graham Boland.
Can't stay out here.
Debris caution.
In terms of lap time,
Yeah, they're not finding where the caution came up for, are they?
It'll be optimal for him. We'll expect everybody to come down pit
Phantom.
road. So first yellow of the night comes 30 laps in. We got, I think, just shy of halfway last year before we had the first caution flag.
Now's when we see the guy park it because he's got to piss under caution.
What happens on the pit lane? One topic of conversation we had last year when Kevin.
They should automatically tell you back to the garage and you're done if you do that.
Pretty
What
much
was the
campers.
caution for?
Well, the fact that we're going to do it under yellow takes a lot of that risk out, but Steve's point was it also takes a lot of the reward out as well. So some drivers who would maybe try to vary something in their strategy, say about
Someone threw a foam pad out the window.
Did you guys
Water bottle.
hear Denny's jab at the nine in NASCAR on his podcast?
Yeah, I forget it though.
He was saying like if it had been the 9 car, he would have said that the rule already would have been changed already this week.
Fuel window here where guys, as soon as they get off a pit road here, they're going to be clutching. They're going to be saving fuel. And
Yeah, I mean, they would be in hot water if it was a playoff driver. It'd be
He's
a
not
huge
wrong.
discrepancy.
Well, it was a playoff driver. The 12 last week. It should have.
Down in South Florida. Here's a replay
Or the other week.
what brought out the caution. This was
But the
brought
12
out
was broken. It wasn't.
Yeah,
coming back.
he had he
This
was
is a
fucked.
different scenario. This was just literally flat tires.
converging on one another.
Oh, there's your yellow.
State the 5 and the 29 go for a bit of a
I was on the
lead.
66.
Certainly could have been a lot worse when that many cars stack up on corner exit, and it is rush hour. On
Can you
the pit
imagine
road
if
exit, and it looks
the
like
physics were
at
really
time
true
it's
and you
scoring.
actually
We'll wait
popped
to
the
see
tires
shot
and the
of
car
field,
wouldn't
but
go anywhere in
Stephen
the
Wilson and Parker
iRacing?
White
Greg, I was just thinking that. Do you, like,
Because of how locked up he had it there.
So if that comes to be,
how crazy would that be?
Okay, you still get your spot back.
I'll allow that only if they tow you to the campground instead of pit road.
It probably would have been a bigger wreck from him trying not to pop the tires.
and Stephen Wilson and Parker White, they're going to be the front row for this restart coming up. You see his mom.
Yeah, because nobody would lock their tires up anymore. Nobody would hold the brakes.
All night, and they'll be right next to each other coming to the restart.
What happened to Salas?
Hold the brakes.
These are two drivers that have worked together for such a long time. That work together in setups, trying to find speed in their race cars and everything.
And then Hayden Huddy he got signed today, didn't he?
It's full time with Nice next year.
What the hell happened to Sal?
Did it say which truck he's going to?
Get to the Geico restart zone.
Same one he's been in this year, I assume. 45.
Holy
Running
crap.
JRT, David.
Hold on, holy crap. The 11 car got the actual 11 car
what?
pit crew.
I was seeing what overlays he was running. I was seeing if he was running JRT.
I wasn't looking.
Is a joke.
Wilson and White, well, both of them and
See, this is when it's fun, when we can look at their rigs and all that stuff and just diagnose it, see what they're doing.
technical affiliated group. So we always talk about
The only flaw I've found with JRT so far is the relative. I like the relative, but it's not as one for one. Like there's a little lag when it displays the time, the positive and minus.
Sort of, because what it does, if they're behind you, it calculates based on when they get to the same spot you were at. If that
Really?
makes sense.
Yeah, I know it does. Because I will, since I got rid of race labs, I will go back to the black box since it's current, I guess.
See, that
I have both of them running because I mostly just use the JRT relative to see where the red cards are, right, and or teammates and stuff like that.
Blocking.
Trying to put up a fight for P2.
Wow, that was crazy.
the corner, although Falkenhammer knows
Actually, that reminds me. Now I got to make sure I turn up my drawing distance because I was having problems with my display for JRT missing the field for the GT or when we did the endurance race.
You have to have it on max cars.
Yeah, I realized that when David told me. I'm like, David, it's saying us we're in this, and David's like, no, it's not.
Midfield, not the case. It is 3 wide, just behind that 48 machine of Boland. Boland's trying to get it underneath.
Now the next thing I need you to teach me, David, is how to set up how much fuel I'm burning each lap.
You've got the likes of the 88 machine.
It's on the display.
Bottom left.
That I sent you.
Bottom left corner.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually one of the big displays, I think.
Okay, I'll have to look for it.
And then I have a little that I added that shows you how many stops you have left.
I think that's where that 48 likes to be right now.
Is it a subscription or a one-time payment for JRT?
Subscription, but it's not expensive.
15.
It's like 15 a year.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheaper than Race Labs then.
Race Labs.
Oh, look, Justin.
That's what I have.
If you know how much fuel you have per lap, you still have to do math. So you don't really want that.
Yeah,
What
you got to
you
get
want
Siri.
is
You got to get Siri.
There you go.
another number on the JRT that shows how much you're short or minus for the whole race. And so when you're in the last run, you just slow down until that number hits 0, basically. And once you get past 0, then you can use more fuel.
See,
I love his dashboard. It's just taking me a while to there's a lot of information in that little ass square, so it's taking me a long time to consume it all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. One of those numbers is that number that you try to manage to 0.
I just go by what Mike says distance-wise, and I add more laps because I can go further.
Right? Look, you get off the throttle, Greg,
It's
so
Canadian
early.
versus American dollars.
That's because
Right, it gets 1.3 miles per gallon.
135. 135.
Sorry.
eNascar, of course, we talk about what is on the line here tonight. Well,
That might be one.
No, seriously,
that
like,
might be one to
if
clip.
Greg
there,
and-
Brad.
Look, if Greg and I go at Michigan, he's lifting at the 3 mark, I'm lifting at the 1 mark. And that's how he's saving more fuel.
And tires.
And not burning his tires up.
So what's really throwing me off is I freaked out in Kansas one time because I started my run and it said I was like a little under a gallon short, and I'm like, I screwed up. My settings are wrong. Well, it counted for as I tire wear, I'm going to slow down, so I'm going to save fuel, and it's eventually going to even out.
Those are going to feel a lot better. The fact that those are still
It's based on averages of your previous laps. So when you first start, it's going to be out of whack.
The best thing to do too is, if you can at all in a run, save early in a run just to save yourself time in case it does calculate it wrong.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the race. I'm going to fly planes.
Later, David.
See you, Dave.
Wonder where Parker White's going to be able to go here.
We got 2 of the guys running first, second, 7th, and 17th. I think Zelensky restarted 22nd, so he is going the right way.
Can you imagine having that trophy in your background at all times, Mike? In your streams?
That would be bomb. I'd have to move just so I have a place to have it.
You know how they do, and we do it, family pictures for like the seasons and all that stuff? I'd literally just have no kids.
Oh, it's a card from Tyler with the damn trophy again.
You won that like 10 years ago, Tyler.
Merry Christmas!
Good Lord.
Zelensky must have made a setup change. He's 16th now.
He gained a bunch on pit road, and then he started
He's
like
moving.
21st, but he's going.
Oh, Dale and Amy
What is the
were just
45
describing.
doing to him?
Beating his back bumper off.
Is
She
he
put
helping
the
him, or
Daytona
is he pissed at
500
him?
trophies
Button draft.
right in the front. He said something like, "You walk in the house and there are the trophies."
As soon as you're leaving pit road, you're shutting off. You're hitting the clutch. You're doing everything you need to do to try and save fuel. But it doesn't look like that's the case or on the agenda for Bobby Z. It's all about getting track position, and he's gotten a fair amount of it from his 32nd place.
He's got to be in the top 10 by
Yeah,
lap
Bobby got a top 10 in this
50-ish.
race 1 year ago. He finished 9th. In fact, all 4 of our championship drivers.
You know, at this point, it doesn't look good for Bobby. You got to have track position. These guys are too good. You
There's your
can't.
point standings, Mike. Top 20.
Well, he's gaining though.
Never count
I
Bobby
only
out.
knew these car numbers and who they were.
Remember, only those top 20 drivers guaranteed a spot
38's,
in this
88's
series next year.
LaPrade.
If you're in the bottom 20, you got to go deal with Blake in the contender series in the offseason.
The 45 was just messing with Bobby there.
Was I guessed?
3-year, 5-year
Oh, Garrett might be out. He's a 12.
championships. You have to requalify. People get relegated every single season, and that is why.
We got trouble.
No.
It's in a big spin. There it goes. The 66.
The 66 caused another one.
No caution yet. The
That's a second caution by that guy.
Flag will fly.
Did the same thing. He came up on somebody.
Again, exited turn number 2, where that incident is from.
And that's what we were talking about. You could see.
You said that was
right around
Vicente?
that relegation line, and this is going to put him in a very good position.
Salas was in the 11.
This puts all of these teams.
He had
on
a horrible
stage
pit
right
stop,
now.
so he must have had
And
Denny's pick
I don't
crew
want to
from
say
the
an
weekend.
impossible scenario, but we've gone enough laps that if you take 4 tires, there's a lot of speed to gain. And if we go green to the end, that's the strategy. You don't have to worry
So
about
what do you think
fuel. Your
happens
tires will be
if
better,
the field
but you have
pits? Do you
2
think
sets
Bobby
on pit road,
doesn't,
and that's all you get.
or
So
do you think if they
this is
don't
where
pit, then
this
Bobby
race can
will?
really take a
You got to
turn.
get
Oh,
tires.
chance he's got.
Depending on
More likely, it's going to be a long run.
maybe takes the risk to try and stay out here.
In just those 11 laps,
Not
or
with
so,
this
times
group.
fell off about a second. So new tires give you a second, but it only gives you 1 set of tires left. That's the strategy you're explaining, Blake.
Don't forget how at the end of these races they've been having caution fest
About 15 seconds
over and over every week. We talked about it almost, but then they would go at green once in a while. But mostly they have caution fest at the end.
What's the pit window or the fuel window here?
Bigger question is the 66 still in it? Because you might have
I
another
think
caution.
it's 60, so I think they're in the window here.
Okay.
Well, he came up thinking that the 42 was going to stay up against the wall more, maybe.
That was Tyler Gary, who was kind of coming down on the exit of the
I think he got tight.
Easter wasn't expecting that, and again, these next gen cars.
Wait, who is the 66? I missed it.
42 didn't go to the wall.
Real world side, and iRacing kind of replicates that too, where it's really hard to save them on a straightaway.
Again, we almost got away with the yellow. It finally came out late. Another minor accident. And again,
Classic.
a critical one in terms of those drivers fighting for the relegation bubble. Well, it's not every chance you get to have somebody at the desk who has a trophy named after them, but the connection.
Boland's back at 20th.
Welcome Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the broadcast desk. And Dale, of course, you've won in this series. You've
Oh,
competed
boy.
in it. You're
It's
a team member of
Junior.
Junior Motorsports. This series now celebrating 15 years. Back when you won that Daytona race 15 years ago, do you think we'd be sitting here 3rd year straight at the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Absolutely not. It's incredible how it's grown, and it's incredible that the drivers, they're under real pressure. And I was thinking about that on the drive over here. All those years we were racing at a desk or in a rig at home, talking to friends. Imagine having to uproot all of that, come here and have to race in front of a full crowd for $100,000. It's tremendous amount of pressure because, again, these drivers have done this in the comfort of their own home all year long, and now having to do it on that stage with all the distractions, us over here, all the fans here that are watching.
So in the previous race, if you're running in the top 4 to get to Charlotte, do you lift just so you don't have to transport your rig?
Years ago that we would be doing this tonight.
I wonder if they foot that bill or not.
Cut your driver right now. I think he was one of
I
those
imagine.
that elected to play a little bit of strategy here, but
I mean, it's expensive as shit.
It's a tax write-off for him.
for a long time. You've been an ambassador and just a
Oh, this is good business for iRacing.
The other thing is too is how many of those guys probably live in the area.
competing really hard. That Brian LaPrade went out and got his first
Just
win
to
earlier. How proud
to
of
have that relationship with NASCAR and call it eNascar and all that, it's priceless. Every penny that they spend is worth it.
Truck series and all that, and so it's been fun to partner with him this year. He called us and said, "Hey, I want to drive for you. Let's make this happen." And knowing the connection we have with him, the Cars Tour, that was a lot of fun to put that together. And it was also seemed Breyer to make it back, right? You work with guys like him. He's a professional, great representative for his sponsors. Just always did a great job. and we've had him over for fan day and signing autographs at the shop. So you make these relationships with these guys, and they kind of ebb and flow in and out of the series. And we were hoping that Briar would make it back so we could again partner up. So it's been a lot of fun. Had a lot of great drivers over the years. Michael Conti was the first driver that we got, and a champion in the series, and a professional on and off the track, I like to say. Got to work with Brad Davies, who was an OG from back in the day. One of the first people I raced with online.
Surprised his name isn't on that trophy over there.
Sure, yeah. And then friends that were in it 20 years ago have now gotten back in it. Kevin King drove for us, I've talked to Kevin every week for the last 20 years, and so I just saw Derek Wood, Bob Bryant, Blackford. There's so many old school friends. The great thing about sim racing, and you're seeing the culmination of what this can be on the screen tonight, but the greatest thing about this is the relationships and friendships that it's created for me.
Well, what do you make of Caden Honeycutt just announced a full series truck deal for next year? I mean, the drivers, think of the 15 years of iRacing. Now these drivers are going racing Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. What do you think?
So had a bunch of guys stay out.
They inspire to do that. Everyone you see right there on the screen wants to be racing.
I never realized TJ came from iRacing.
Yep.
I learned that the other day.
So you love to kind of see the crossover.
Yeah, he was just a friend of Dale's in the posse.
That's when Martin
So
Truex
all-
used to race a lot too.
Yeah, back in the DMP
Four of
league.
these guys take tires.
That's right, Dirty Mo Posse.
Then I never really knew who. I've raced with Kevin King before, and I just learned who he was to the sport.
Back in the NR 2003 days, trying to get into that league was a struggle.
I remember the Richard Tower as the champion. The original champion.
All four of these championship competitors, and nearly lost it
Oh,
right there.
this is tight.
Tinsley, his teammate for the Kansas
What a
City
cool
Pioneers.
view this is.
Yeah, I like that.
That's neat.
That camera.
For the title as well, and Parker White, can he clear traffic? This is when it gets so
Uh.
difficult on who can get through traffic and who has fresh tires, who doesn't. All that.
Bobby's chances are looking a lot better now.
Wilson's getting through the field better.
Drivers who are still actively in the playoffs have to deal with non-playoff cars on the racetrack. As
Like I said at the beginning, he's the favorite. I think he's going to be the car to beat.
To the playoff 8, 6, whatever, down to the championship.
White's going to get him.
Everybody still has something to fight for. If it's relegation, if it's the team championship. So it's harder if you see Graham Boland 3 wide in the middle of the pack to just say get out of the way, because these guys are fighting to be in this series again. If you get relegated, there's no guarantee you ever get back to this level.
Yeah, there's so much on the line, and they're racing for.
I like the idea of relegation. It makes more pressure.
That have helped them throughout the week to prepare the setup and spend hours.
I don't know about this whole win it in the last race thing in NASCAR. This doesn't sit right with me. It's not a real championship.
I understand why they do it, though. The entertainment.
Yeah.
Ooh, that Nitro Circus guy is holding him
It's
tight.
for that heading $100,000 winner, not $50,000 winner.
It's a lot easier to market when you're in than season-long points.
Yeah, but season-long points is just, I don't know. I'm just a purist.
Yeah, to the purists, I understand, but marketing, I get the other side of the coin.
Well, even in
Well, you're trying to keep TV viewers.
even stick and ball sports though, that they don't. It never comes down to one game.
I was always amazed at how impressive some of the sim racers could be, and how.
I remember one year, Jeff Gordon won like 12 races, and then Mark Martin won like 11 or 10. And Mark would be a champion in any year with those kind of numbers, but Jeff Gordon just outdid him. And that was amazing to watch over a full season.
Well, a lot of times on the old system, the guy who had the most wins did not win the championship.
Correct. But you spend each week looking at points. Right now, I don't ever look at points until we get to playoffs.
Nothing matters but wins.
We care more about fantasy points than we do about fucking actual points.
Getting on that road to pro ladder through the qualifying series, through the contender series.
Back during that year, Mark and Jeff were looking at points every week. because it was a fierce battle.
I don't know if
and the fans were too.
Did Jeff Gordon ever run his career that way? I feel like Jeff Gordon was the win guy.
Well, Mark ran it that way. I don't know.
But I just think I feel like Jeff was always the guy that he was gonna. He kind of had the Kyle Larson mentality as a driver.
He's got that Tony Stewart mentality. If you win, the points will take care of themselves.
I think you'd clean up late race restarts if you went back to season-long points.
I'm sure he's had a lot of practice time, but there's test drivers as we see his.
It wouldn't be so bad if the car wasn't invincible either.
That's the biggest issue.
I think it was funny though that they're saying like if you ran over a bolt, the car is bad, but if you run into a car with the top of the car, it doesn't do anything.
P6 in the trucks.
There you go.
I love podcast Denny. He explained the air on the car very well in the last podcast. He talked about you get all the downforce from that dam underneath the car versus the Xfinity where the air goes over it.
The 10 car is bullying his way around.
His numbers do look stupid as shit. He's door bumping the 11 there.
He's pissing off some people that I don't think he needs to piss off.
That steering wheel's like in his lap.
It's low as shit, isn't it? Not ergonomically accurate. It's like the opposite of Bobby.
Whoa! Holy lane change.
Whoa!
The 20 car had Freddie Kraft as a spotter.
I was just thinking, was that
Oh
Bubba?
my gosh, I just saw that.
Held my breath for a minute there.
It was interesting to hear them talk about that the 7 and the 51 didn't change spotters and what the spotters were calling out this week for each one of them. And that incident
that's
happened
what
for Haley.
got Haley in the accident.
Man, Zelensky had so much room.
It's a little surprised they didn't swap spotters.
Yeah, because I was going to say those spotters really don't have any ties to the team. They have ties to the driver.
Majority of the time, correct? Yes.
Teams of individuals watching the strategies of others and kind of relaying that.
Well, especially nowadays since they're all the way that they're free agenting themselves, trying to get most money they can.
The drivers, they focus on driving. They focus on being fast, how to make that car go as quick as it can and do the best job.
Yeah, typically with the full-time deal guys, the spotter would stick with the driver. Now, I mean, you look at the 20 Xfinity deal, they may probably just have one spotter for how many drivers they got in that car.
It's gonna get crazy.
Oh.
54 machine, the 20's up on the outside, so some teammates to.
There's Bobby pushing it.
No, that's not Bobby. Bobby's up further. Bobby's up further.
That's Falkenham.
They have the same paint?
Yeah. They both have Interstate.
Under a blanket there.
I was like, dude.
Buckingham reminds me of Hill.
It's Bobby's fourth now, Mike.
I'm telling you, he's coming. That caution played right into his hands.
Well, it helped that certain guys didn't take any, and they were able to get closer together.
I think Parker's laying back though, saving tire.
Who are just up the road. Championship cars running 2.
They're going to be 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, and 5 soon.
What a turnaround for Bobby Zelensky. Again, these guys go out, they qualify, and then they
Look, they're not going to have enough for green white checker, I don't think. When did they pit? 50. It was 55 to go.
Yeah, well, they have one set of tires left too. Where
But if it goes green,
the guys that didn't pit have 2.
Determined here to get up to the front of the field, and he
might have enough for one green white checker.
I think it helps him because he's been here before. He knows the pressure of this room. He knows.
But the guy out front, Wilson, he might not because he's out front, right? He's using more fuel.
I don't know how much more he's using in second than the guys that are right behind them.
How'd you do, Tyler?
P6.
Oh yeah.
0x2. I'll take it. back up
Damn.
above 3,000 on the IR.
Also, Mike, if they have to pit under green, whoever goes first is going to drag the rest of them down.
Oh, they can make it from here. I think you can do 62 or 60 here, if I'm not mistaken.
You can kind of lock in. There are less
I don't know
distractions.
about that.
That's probably the same when these drivers are at home, but not here.
I would
because,
say
again,
this would be not much
unfortunately for them, they're
not much
listening to us
different
talk
than
about them. If they can hear it, their families are
Talladega
here, they
or
glance to the
Daytona.
left, they can see their fellow competitors, which is completely abnormal. We did something like this
Could be
earlier
wrong.
this year. We had a couple drivers out at the Navy Pier in Chicago. We've done
Because
this
if
event,
if that was the
obviously,
case,
for
they
3
all
years
would
now,
have
and this is
pitted
kind
then,
of the
Mike.
objective of doing these live events.
Well, I guess you're
Take a
right.
live look at the bottom there. A couple of people jumping into the sim rigs that we have here at the Hall of Fame, getting people.
This is a mile and a half, right?
Series. We talk about drivers going from the
Yeah.
sim world to the real world.
Who's the kid in the bottom corner driving?
They've got a couple extra rigs set up for people to try stuff.
I thought it was Parker White.
I was gonna say he's as tiny as I'm as big as that guy right now.
What's Tyler Reddick in that thing? Did you see that?
Oh, that thing where they had Kyle Larson when he won the Bristol and his son was on the side, and he said that he had Ty Gibbs on the car. That was really bad.
How often do you get to go and stand and watch 4 of
That was a good one.
Or when you got Haley and Hocevar beside each other.
that they prefer in their rig
He's holding him.
compete tonight. So I've got a lot of questions to ask a couple of these guys.
I didn't realize Hocevar was that
Whoa!
They have and how they set their things up. So it's kind of fun. A little contact right there.
Man, they're bumping everywhere.
Rubbin's racing. Oh fuck! Oh, he saved it.
Oh man.
This continues on. He's dropping down through the midfield. Again, a handful of drivers had stayed out in this one. Well, Dale, we'll let you jump out of here. We appreciate
All right,
your
2,
time
3,
at the desk.
5,
We've
and
got trophy
6.
duty later on tonight, so we'll catch in with you in just a little bit.
Zelensky's gotten up there, man.
So I might be in this series next year. You think you get the 87 cars or
You've
something to
got
run in
a
this
lot
series?
going on. How are you gonna have time? But the 87 cars are probably my.
That'd be
favorite,
awesome just to sit there and
car service,
shoot the
but
shit with
I'm
Dale
biased to the
Jr.
nostalgia of it, but that's the great thing about iRacing. They got something
In the Hall of
I
Fame.
don't think me and Alan were that bad to hang out with, but all week he's just been talking about hopefully.
You guys been there? I went there last year.
It's on the bucket
No,
list.
we need to go.
I really want to go.
Highly, highly recommend it. Bobby, you went, didn't you?
Now in the off season, so yeah, once things wrap up.
No, I've never been there.
20 in this championship, we'll go race those
Frick,
top
I thought
20
of all
for
the times you've
qualifying
made
series
trips up that
and
way. I
right
thought
back at
you
it
would
on
have gone there
Tuesdays.
already.
This World of eNascar, as we call it, is
Most of my trips to Charlotte have been for work.
Connor Yurchek
That's
getting
true.
to watch, who won that qualifying
And I'm 3 hours
championship
away and I
just a
haven't
few
gone.
weeks ago. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm going back. It's too cool.
I was there.
With these cars up front, this
I was
is
driving
very
long haul the
similar
year it
to what
opened,
we
and I
saw
wasn't far
early in
from
this
it one
race.
time, but I
Stephen
couldn't. There's
Wilson
nowhere I
second,
could take the
Parker
truck.
White sitting in third,
I've seen race cars on my trips, but not the Hall of Fame.
back to the top of the board, scooting away just a little bit from these two. Again, a little bit of deja vu.
Charlotte's a pretty cool city too. It's I enjoyed it. And it's not that big.
But it's been a long time. We've done this 4-driver championship
Giggity.
format for a while now.
Traffic sucks.
Since I've seen all 4 of them compete inside of the
Traffic
box
wasn't
like they do right now.
wasn't as bad.
From where things were
I'm
70 laps ago.
desensitized to traffic.
Graham Bowen was outside the top 10 just a couple of laps
I feel
ago.
like White's toying with everybody.
How many laps of the
Did you guys kick out all the new guys
Yeah, I saw that.
all at the same time?
Of $100,000 and not making a move.
I couldn't get him to talk. I tried.
Over-aggressive. Is he waiting?
Mike said, "Fuck you."
I thought it was Greg. Greg says.
I would have said sorry before I kicked him out.
Showing us in this first attempt at going
Hey, sorry.
$1,000. It's really
Sorry?
right now.
Not your buddy, guy.
Sorry, A. Sorry, A.
Hey, that's it.
Second year in this
While
series,
you're
but
while
he's
you're
the
sitting in
second
your
best
Celica.
finish at Homestead amongst these drivers because he's only had one sample size. He finished third here last year, but you look.
I think I'd like a caution, like 20 to go, and let these guys get fresh tires and then go at it.
I don't have to put up with this. I'm gonna go sit in my wind simulator.
How many kilometers does your
I'm
truck
already sitting
have?
in mine, Greg.
In these cars on this track, an average
What was
finish
that?
of 1
How many kilometers does your truck have?
is a tough enough competitor at any racetrack.
My transport truck has 177,000 on it right now.
Imagine that
But I got it
dumping
brand
stat
new,
before
so.
the green flag flies.
What's the conversion?
If you're Parker White, if you're Graham Bowen, having to beat one of
Hey
the
Siri.
best at
2 to 1.
track and look what
I had to convert my car
No,
for.
it's for every 100,000, it's 62,000.
in this championship for in terms of having to deal with this the entire race.
This has been the representation.
Yeah, my car's got, if you convert mileage, it's got 215,000 miles on it. If you convert it, it's 350 kilometers, 350,000 kilometers.
I sold a Subaru with 530,000 kilometers on it.
Damn.
Daggone.
It still had the original turbo, the original transmission, the original engine. It was in great shape.
My turbo's leaking a little bit. I'm just waiting for it to blow.
What do you drive?
Little 1.5 EcoBoost.
I missed my Focus RS.
Oh no! Oh, here we go. Caution's coming out.
Oh, there it is. Oh my God!
Wow.
Get him out of here.
It said paint job, right, Bobby?
There we go.
The same guy again?
Colin Keister.
How many points does he have?
Yeah. I want to see that updated list after this race.
He's got to be on the black flag.
His car had 4 flats. Can you take him to the campground?
Look, iRacing's got to go back and rescan all the infields now.
You remember when we thought with that one where you come out of their garage, we were thinking that they were going to start doing more of that, and then it's like all of a sudden stopped.
If you're the race admin, do you park the 66 at this point, or give him a drive-through or something?
Well, he should have a drive-through at some point. He's already at 12X.
No, he's making it entertaining with cautions.
Finally, they could have had him in stage in it.
That's right. 66.
Now
Need a yellow.
This makes an interesting thing. So now the guys that pitted before are out of tires, and there's still ones that don't, that have 1 extra left. So if they have a caution late, like Mike was saying, because they'll have 20, if they get one in the with 10 to go, that's 15 or 20 laps. That's pretty good.
All right, let's see what happened here. So iRacing admin yells Omaha, and then a 66 just bites it.
Again, exit? No, yeah, he lost it on exit.
Same scenario, and no, there was.
That's horrible.
Got a little bit loose, comes back up. Dylan All, Colin Bowden, a couple end up.
They got the Kyle Busch death wobble.
That's like payback too.
Into contention to.
He's probably got damage underneath.
Almost caught it, but
there's gonna be memes with him.
A lot of TV time for Micro Center there, though.
Like Arby's at Bristol.
He's got the meat.
That was perfect advertising at the Bristol one. I can guarantee you every 5 minutes we're going to be on the TV or less.
Who had the Arby's car?
66. Hey, wait, it was a 66.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Those does mirror real life.
We'll wait for all of that to update because you look at the top of the screen.
Yeah, but the 66 in real life didn't wreck it. He just was like 200 laps down on a 500 lap race.
Well, there's the differentiation.
It's so realistic.
Differentiate yourself. 2 tires, I would imagine, for Bobby Zielinski to.
I mean, you have a Camaro off front.
Well as several others. So I will
Zielinski take 2 tires?
I'm not feeling so bad about this. If you take 2 tires,
I don't
and
think
you're
they
the
pitted
only one
yet.
on that strategy. This would be a
Yeah,
really
they're pitted.
nerve-wracking time, but you have
Did they already pit?
Yep. Zielinski's up to second. The other ones looks like whoever took 4 tires is back where Wilson is.
He does go for a 2 tires.
2 tires.
Drivers, LaPrade, Hurst doing it in the back, but I think of those championship 4, Alan.
I guess they were going through the caution.
What a call, because this is the furthest Stephen
All right, that's how you win the race.
This is the most traffic he'll have to deal with.
Right, Justin? You took 2 tires and won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't even have to win the race.
And I took 2 tires at Kansas and lost it.
Well, the thing is, Wilson's going to burn his tires up trying to get to him with the guys that are trying, right?
Yeah, if they all get in a race and Zielinski may just be able to hold maintain.
What he needs to hope is that he gets past the 97 here, or they both check out.
I just let him pull me along.
Takes 2 to tie, 3 to win. Let's roll the dice. Vote from Larry Bird.
In the number 1 spot so far tonight.
I really wish that they would talk about this on Dirty Mo or the betting show. The betting show's good.
So that's at least Minter, Zelensky, Tinsley, Kerwin, Salas.
That was called.
That's how the likes of Strauss, Wilson, and others end up back there.
Dirty Mo Doe.
Blake, how would you
Dirty
assess
Mo Doe.
the two-tire decision you just said before we were coming to pit
Oh, you
road?
said the betting show. So, oh, I got you. I know what you're talking about.
I was trying to think of the name. I couldn't think of it there, but I'm like, I love listening to them talk because they talk so much trash to each other.
I think again he has
Steve Letarte. Everybody, he just picks on everybody.
He's got a one-liner for every single thing that they talk about.
where the stress starts to set in.
I want to be at this dinner that apparently Steve Letarte's got like 12 people going to, and that bald-headed guy's got to pay for it all.
I love how every time he does something bad, he's like adding someone from the street to it too.
He's got it all planned out with champagne and a tower of shrimp.
Car for the restart. That will be the 97 of Minter on the bottom. Again, look for those drivers with those red.
Here we go. Let's see if it's a $100,000 strategy.
Side on row number 5. They're going to be on the charge. We'll see how good the 4 tires are. Green flag is back in the air. It's a good jump for the number 97 car. Already throwing blocks a couple of rows back and safely P2 defended for the.
So does Falkingham block Wilson? Make it hard.
Side by side, battle for third.
We don't make it easy.
Oh, there they go.
I reckon.
Yeah, it's on now.
Seems to be involved.
Oh, it's a caution fest from here.
Yep.
Bobby's in a perfect spot. They're done pitting.
As a quick caution at 22 to go.
You just turned up 4 laps, so you're at 18.
Do we call these guys squirrels, Brad?
Oh, there's a whole tree full of squirrels back there.
My dog loves squirrels. That's all she goes for walks for, to find squirrels.
Bobby Zelensky, as you can see, the White family watching on nervously to see how this one will play out. Again, I think you just look back at how this season has played out. How many times we get a caution within the last 25 laps that they seem to kind of work in cycles that they continue to happen after that. So I'm always an advocate for trying to get your track position. And this makes this 2-tire call better for Bobby Zelensky. You go through more heat cycles, it's going to even out 2 versus 4 tires as well.
Yeah, every time we get a caution flag, you're taking 3-4 laps of green flag racing off the table there. That also means that he has less laps at speed, that he's going to have to hold off cars that have better tires than him. So
I bet you you're probably right on the Falkingham one too. It looks like he would be there for helping, making it harder for the 10 to get by.
Looking at Tom and scoring to Bolin.
That's how it'd be like for if you guys were leading. I'd make that bitch wide.
That car is down pit road this time by. Again, we'll wait until we get a second.
I love that how you think that we'd be leading a race.
That's what I did for Tyler at Pocono.
Speak for yourself.
You did. Hooked me up with that W there, Brad.
Not what you're looking for.
No, absolutely.
I just want to recreate what the speed that I had at Indy. I don't know what that happened at Indy, but that car was just unreal.
Kind of have what you have, right? So you're going to stay out, but I don't think he got tagged.
I got pretty lucky at Pocono with the guy blowing off his tires into the damn wall.
I expect to win this week.
Yeah, I do too.
This will be a good. It'll be a good race at Tally this week.
Team championship, which for some contracts will.
I'm looking
tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to next week at the last road course of the year.
Again, these drivers fighting for money, fighting for prestige, all of those things.
I just don't know if we're going to get the update. I doubt we get the update before it. Have you seen anything, Mike?
What?
For the update for the Roval? If iRacing said anything about it?
Nah, we'll have it next year. It shouldn't be in there next year, but we'll have it.
I was going to say we're going to have it next year, and they're going to go back to the... Oh, wait, no, they are going to the Roval next year, aren't they?
Yes, as horrible as that is.
Yeah, they're going to the Roval.
Bobby Zelensky still your leader of your championship cars. He is in the number 2 spot.
Hey, just look at this way. We're going to have horsepower and a bunch of things next year to look forward to.
Say, like, both Stephen Wilson and Parker White into the green.
I was trying to think ahead.
That last lap, they will leapfrog from 9th and 10th to 7th.
I mean, if you did see a horsepower change, it's going to come in the offseason. It's not going to come in the middle of the season.
It sounds like what Denny said would probably happen more too, is where they just go back to the 750 50
shot of Steven Wilson right
instead
there,
of going crazy with
in
it.
a pretty good position. Again, this is where I think those two strategies are really going to clash. If we
That's definitely an off-season change.
Zelensky
Zelensky and the barefoot with the VRS pedals.
Yeah, I think he's using a toe to throttle that thing up.
The tables have completely turned in this one on the outlook of his night. Again, I'm sure you qualify.
Kind of grosses me out, to be honest.
He's got his scoring on the left monitor.
To perhaps win a championship in this.
He's really bigger. Those monitors are freaking tiny.
We haven't seen Blake this
I don't like the angle those monitors were at.
Restarts for a championship race in a while. Again, a lot of these have played out with green flag racing.
I get anxiety looking at some of these guys' setups.
It is kind of hard to pre-plan this. I mean, you know it. You've raced at the top level.
I want to see one of the guys have to come and play in VR.
You've tried your best to prepare yourself for this. You've tried to put yourself in the boat that you're in strategy-wise. And all you can do is execute now. We talked about the army.
I wouldn't be. I don't even think I've ever tried the pedals with bare feet. I'll wear socks every now and again, but man, I always put my shoes on.
Fuck, bare feet with the sim coaches. They're fucking cold as fuck.
Ugh.
I eventually want shoes.
I'm wearing my shoes right now, literally.
I go through socks like no other. My break foot.
I wonder if this will fucking show up on
Amazon carding shoes.
Yep.
They were like $30 and they're great.
Yep.
You guys see that on my shoe?
That's because you put the pad on the throttle, you numbskull.
I
Grip
needed
tape?
it. I needed it.
No, you need it on the brake, not on the throttle.
I don't need it on the brake.
You want the throttle. You want that throttle to be nice and smooth.
Every time from here on out, we're going to be saying, is it the final restart of this season?
How many more yellows?
The final restart to determine a champion.
Four.
Race car off and in. Still, control car, Minter, green flag in the air. It's
Six.
a good jump again. Donnie 7 on the money. He'll clear for the race lead. Zelensky also defending P2. That's big. He has to go down and shut the door on Kerwin.
Bolin jumped up 4 wide on that initial restart. He wanted the outside as soon as he could get there.
They gave Bolin some spots back because he was in it showed 27th at one point when that wreck was happening.
In the middle, but you could see Steven Wilson, Parker White as they have been all night.
He must have got the Kyle Busch treatment.
Zelensky, however, looks like that he
Wilson got past
coverage is kind of crappy because they're not covering stuff like that.
There for just a moment, but Steven Wilson trying to get by his teammate, who I'm sure won't make the job any easier.
No,
to try
he's not
and
going to be able to hang with him. The 54 couldn't hang.
Wilson's got it.
As much as possible. Wilson able to get by, White not able to get by. So those two drivers separated
Caution.
for the first time post restart here.
Yeah, these cautions are bad for Zelensky.
66, maybe.
The rear, and we will slow things down once more.
I'm gonna shit if it's.
I don't know if it's bad for him or not. Actually,
It's bad because it lets everybody reset and get up closer to him.
It keeps putting them tighter together.
Yeah, on that initial restart after the pit stop, if he could have drove away, he probably would have had a good shot at it.
That means now though is going to be what 10 to go when they go back to green though. The laps are going down. It just yeah.
They're gonna be on him though on the restart.
I think Zelensky would have liked to have seen, but again, gets a caution when he needs it, but also there's a little bit of comfort.
This is where the choose rule would be interesting.
Again, there's no choose cone on iRacing, so all those cars on odd positions will be on the inside, the even numbers will be on the top side. And if you're Zelensky, it's a lot easier to block that car behind you if you're on the outside lane. You can pretty much mirror exactly where he goes. So if you are Zelensky,
I don't know why they don't, because every damn league has it now.
Tinsley, again, they go back to the timing line, so it looks like Wilson kind of shoveled back to 5th position.
That could be big. That one spot could make a difference.
Yeah,
P4 versus 5 on the restart.
For sure. I think, especially with the track widening out like it has, you definitely would rather be on the top for these restarts.
If Falkingham
66!
Oh my God. But he got turned. He got turned though. He got turned. He was in it, but he got turned.
Imagine that lobby chat.
You gotta give it to him. He's consistent. He is getting that sponsor on TV.
I'm wondering if we can make a cut here with this, Mike. With all the cautions of the 66.
Oh, that's great.
With circus music, I mean, it's crazy.
No, we need to do what they do after the F1 races, where they have the meme thing. We should just do a cut with memes for the
Yes.
66.
I bet if you look at TV time statistics for this race, his sponsor was probably on there the most.
Micro Center's going to let the guy driving the all-white car go because he hasn't done shit.
Have not affected what's happening with these championship 4.
It doesn't look like it, as you can see some of the.
There's 5 cars that have been shown on the broadcast. The 4 championship guys in the 66.
Look at his teammate Wyatt Tinsley, a couple spots up, running in the 4th position right now. And you look at this top 10 again. So many.
Boland's got some damage.
Okay, look, this team, they have that big gold chain and that thing they hang over their neck. Tifosi Racing needs something like that.
Get that new logo that Bobby came up with.
Yeah, we need to put it on. Oh wait, no, Kyle.
We need a.
Kyle, did he sell all his 3D printers? Because we need that to make them with those.
No, I still got them.
Should make some of them like that.
That would be cool.
I just like the 1-inch thick gold chains thing.
I have a wrestling one behind me somewhere.
Some bit of difference. He was able to make up, I think, a spot or 2 on that restart. But again, at this point, 13 laps to go. You can't afford to let that affect you. Although,
Tyler, isn't it like Flavor Flav?
Was somebody who won with
Oh my gosh.
that exact type of damage.
Wrestling, SmackDown in Baltimore.
Michigan had a little bit of
I don't know why he wouldn't pit to get the damage fixed.
It's not even plastic, it's foam.
And as he sits in
It's
P11,
foam?
he is close enough that if things
Yeah.
get wacky, he's in striking distance. That's all you ask for at this point. Still,
Hold it up to your
all
camera
4
more.
of these drivers have a legitimate chance of
That's
walking
pretty
away as a
sick.
champion. And we're kind of in an unprecedented streak of
Chain's a little gaudy, but I think I can make it work.
much of it is thanks to the dominant era
Doesn't
of
Chris get into wrestling too?
for so long, but we have had 5 straight seasons of
That guy in the background looks like
I think
the
so.
guy from Fanatec right there.
point in series history. Of course, Zelensky, despite the fact that he's one of the most veteran drivers, basically leads amongst these 4 in all the major stat categories, hasn't had a win yet.
So I wonder if Logitech's going to step up the game because isn't their big competitor Corsair? Now Corsair's actually going to have some legit sim stuff.
Well, especially when you go down one of the aisles to buy like peripherals for computers, you got Logitech, Corsair, and a bunch of them down there, like even with Razer and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, isn't that going to force their hand a little bit here now?
I'm surprised they don't have anything. There's no Razer cars in here. Razer doesn't sponsor anything.
Again, we talk about parity with this next gen car, this format.
Considering they actually do work with iRacing, yeah, that is kind of surprising.
Didn't Razer in LA open up their first store that's just a Razer store?
In a position
Only
to
their
win a
stuff.
championship. So I think that just goes to show you the type of years he's putting together, and
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
it's going to mean for the rest of tonight. But the years down the road,
Do you think some people are going to pull off iRacing and go to that new NASCAR game?
They'll do both.
I've got a list of a few that I'd like to see do that.
The only
I
thing
got-
I would do it for is the career mode.
I got this idea. It would help thin out some of the rift raft in the lower splits.
What are you trying to say with the riffraff and lower splits, eh? Huh?
I meant like really low splits, AA.
That would be me.
Hey.
I'm going to say that's probably where we're at.
Like 900s.
Not a good restart by Bobby. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide.
Can he bring Parker White along with him? Is he's going to look 3 wide, and that is with.
Oh,
you got
Bobby
tight.
went way up.
He rides up the racetrack and tries to go all the way to the top. Casey Kerwin hanging on the door.
Oh, he's getting the push.
Yeah, he should be able to clear them.
But he's still going to have the run. He took his air. He going to get tight now.
Yep, he did.
Damn, I called it.
Oh, he's going to door him.
He got the run.
Zelensky going to lean on him now.
Pinch him.
You don't get the exit, he gets it.
I'm rooting for Bobby here.
They need that car on the outside to
Cross.
get
Oh, he blocked it.
A little more competitive off of 4, but Wilson is going to clear. Zielinski goes low. Wilson will try to block. Zielinski will try to fight back to the
Wilson won.
side. And does he dip back low to try and
He's got better tires, doesn't he?
White's got the other 4 tires right behind him there.
Big one.
Oh shit!
It is now clear for the lead in this eNascar championship.
Here we go.
That's a big one.
Again.
If it's the 66,
66.
I quit.
Inside of 10 laps to go. That
Freaking 66.
for Williams in the team.
You gotta make a 66 montage, Mike.
Yes.
It has to be that F1 sound effect though that they do for the thing. It's so
is
good.
Now back in the catbird seat in this drivers' championship. Again, so much pressure coming with these late race restarts. Zielinski's feeling it on those 2 tires, but also Wilson put.
So what do you do here? If you're Bobby, you can't win it. You have to pit for tires, right?
Outside of that car on the inside, you have to let the leader launch.
Just run for points. I imagine he gets a little payout.
Does he have tires left?
He only
They
has
should have a set left,
no,
yeah.
he has lefts. That's all he has left is lefts.
Oh, maybe you don't pit then.
As long as he can just get out of his lane, I think he's got a real shot at it. It has been a year of.
I mean, if you're 4th right now, I think you pit.
Series champion in this, he won a college series championship as well.
What have you got to lose?
His fellow champ.
What are they gonna have? 7 to, or 6 to go, 5 to go when they go back to green.
That's the most.
Plus green.
Right, but remember what I mentioned before? Ottinger drove up through there on new tires that one time, and he did it in just a few laps.
Cup Series playoffs where we'll take a field of 40, cut them down to 10, and do a straight elimination.
But they haven't had 3 lap runs since lap 20.
That randomness, there is that unpredictability of this format, but the numbers would suggest.
You're right. If they keep wrecking every lap, then you won't have time to get back up there.
Have been the most deserving. Let's take a look at the 48 machine of Bolin. He was right there, and in fact, that 51 car around off the nose of his machine. The big impacts are behind. I don't think that's going to hurt the 48 car, but the 48 machine right where that
That's the
incident
first
kicked off.
caution that didn't have a 66 in
At
it.
that point, again, I don't think Bolin did anything
White's still got a shot though. He's P4 line up with Wilson if he uses the bumper.
Yeah, he's gonna be ready.
He might have the best. He might have the best shot.
He can maybe dive to the bottom.
Off the nose in front of you, so be it. You know, Donovan
Oh no,
Strauss
he's
will
gonna
be
start on the
around this series
outside.
for a very long time to come.
Zielinski's got the chance on the bottom.
Bolin, I think, just knows what's at stake, and the fact that he has to make up these spots very, very quickly if he wants.
Yeah, but he's not going to get the restart.
Battling for this.
And the top line's always got the advantage.
It's always the worst car on the restart though, too, is the top.
With us here competing last year.
Unless they time it right.
Again, it's
If I'm Zielinski, I'm leading on that lead car.
by far and large, the average has been that the championship winner has had to win the race, but for whatever reason, it has been second place, has been the clinching spot every single time we have been here at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and I think certainly the way this race has looked, again, Tucker Minter didn't start in the race lead, but he's found himself in a really good spot. It certainly seems like
But if Parker can push Wilson tight in the first turn, he might be able to undercut him.
Nobody cares about the guy in the lead.
When we talked about, is it worth it? He may have to make a decision here. Is he going to be defensive for P2 or offensive for P1? And
These other guys don't have to win. They just have to beat each other.
They are now only 2 points ahead of Joe Gibbs.
I think you're about to see some hurt feelings.
This might be one where you got some drivers that use the bumper.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly.
Or dooring. I feel like there's going to be some dooring here too.
I don't see Zielinski doing that.
I don't know.
No, but if he pushes up the 97 hard enough, it shoves him up into the 10.
Very true.
I just don't think. If anything, it might not even be intentional, right?
I mean, if I'm Zielinski, I'm pushing him into the corner. And I'm not lifting. Sorry, bud.
One of those drivers that throughout the season, who does he work with? Bobby Zielinski right now, who is running in that third position. So Minter right now in control of this restart. And I think I would not be shocked to see Zielinski get a great jump if there's a little bit of communication. Basically, we don't have the hands out the window like they do in real life, but I can imagine that sort of thing may come in.
iRacing needs to make a thing where you can put your hand out the window.
And you take a live look
I agree. And the option for the finger.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
that picture.
But then they're going to protest.
That picture of Logano, who is he flipping off?
that does currently have the number 45
wasn't it the
machine of
10
Guest
cars
on
bumper?
the
That was
outside
funny.
looking in. Guest had been in at
No, it was,
points
I
over
can't
the
remember
course
whose
of this
bumper it
race.
was.
He's not
But
having
yeah,
a
that
bad
was
night. Michael Guest is going to be restarting back on road
that was
7,
very,
so
very
not a
clear.
bad place to be in. Again, that could also flip here in the final laps. All right, Blake, this time by, I think the families are feeling it. It's getting
So
real.
how
This
did he
time
flip
by,
the bird to him when he had the
to
web
go,
gloves?
championship on the line. Of course, Zelensky made the 2-tire
That was the
Didn't like
beginning of-
Spider-Man.
That was the beginning of this year, wasn't it?
That was Daytona, wasn't it?
That's felt like so long ago.
Both of those cars
Actually, I think it was Talladega, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm 18, I'm pushing the 97 in the corner.
will yield to Tucker Minter to bring us back to the green flag. But what happens with the
Wow.
championship for
Interesting restart.
Oh,
there.
shit.
back in the air?
He went early.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, look at the 48!
Wow.
I was about to say these drivers have run thousands of races on iRacing in their life. This
Block
is down
him.
to just 4 laps. Wilson
Come on, baby.
better run off of turn 2.
See,
Here he goes.
there they go.
Zelensky playing blocker. He'll go low. He'll go to the high side. And now
He got the
Wilson
run
looks
if he
low.
don't get tight.
Zelensky will ride right on the seam, but Wilson just too
Wilson
strong.
just
They'll
gassed
be
it up on the
side by
bottom.
side off of turn
The
4
tires
for
are
the lead
helping.
and $100,000
Hold on.
for the
Oh.
Wilson made this pass once
There's the
before. He
Doring.
probably didn't think he had to
Yep.
do it again.
And Zelensky
Bolin
got
gets around
really
one.
tight
Uh,
there.
The championship.
It's just
And
a difference in
inside of turns
tires.
1 and 2,
Yep.
on the inside, Bobby Zelensky.
Yeah, if they stay green after that initial caution, then he probably wins it.
Back to the championship.
What the fuck?
Coming to 2 laps to go. Caution flag will fly.
Zelensky's got the inside this time.
NASCAR championship
Ooh.
will
It's gonna be. It's gonna rack
Driving
it up.
one-handed.
They're doing it again. They're gonna rack it up the same way again.
And I think
Listen,
all
look at that
you
crowd.
see
That's awesome.
As those folks sitting in the front row, that's the Steven Wilson contingent in their Wilson era. The Pioneers folks.
Where
are
did the
liking it
48
Yeah, I like
because
it.
they did
Where's the
real good
48?
off
Bobby
the
has
start.
another
So I think
chance.
White gets back
That
in front of
48
him,
made a
but
hell of a
I think
move on
we're
the
back to
bottom.
all 4
Yeah, he did. He was digging.
cars inside of the top 6 and
Tony, you just push that 97 as hard as you can into the corner. Let him drive up.
Dude, if they have a duplicate restart, you maybe play it differently. Now you're blocking the 10 on the bottom line. You can't use the top.
He's done it twice tonight. He may have to do it again still.
Yeah, if he can undercut that 10 and slide, pretty much pull a slider.
Is going on between the 97 and the 18 car. Look at what Zelensky
Just depends on how good of a restart the 10 gets this time.
since iRacing again, continuing to update
Or make him lift. One of the two.
So the 10 will be on the top. So the 53 will be behind the 18.
Of the second place car. So third, if they can time it right, can have the lead of that second car going.
I mean, right now, if you're the 18, you just drive through the 97, push him into the 10, let him slide up the track.
And the 41 there's a trend with the 41 in this race
Same
too.
drivers that we've talked about, unfortunately, being in some incidents before, are wrapped up in this one off of turn number 2. And we'll, again, I think with what we've seen this season, I don't think it's any surprise that perhaps the win for this race and this championship would come down to how you can execute
Williams
on a late race
Esports
restart.
team points.
Live looking at the team championship standings, the Williams advantage has doubled. It doesn't mean a ton, though. It's only a 4-point advantage and a tie now for third in the team championship with M80 and William Byron Esports, both 20
If you're Graham Bolin, what's your move here?
Again, that team championship payout is not.
Wait for the first two to wreck.
I feel like the way they're dooring, it's going to get worse.
There's money involved for the top 5 finishers.
Especially with that little shot that just happened.
Currently in that number 5 spot right now.
Yeah, that was kind of a glove off moment.
So late in the race, drivers are locked into the strategy call that they made. We haven't seen anybody come down pit road these last 4 or 5 opportunities.
Well, again, I just love the contrast, right? You look at all these drivers, and for the most part, they're kind of sitting, settled in. They're cool, calm, collected. It's the fans, it's the friends. They're the ones who are in the really stressful situation. I think you ask any race car driver that eventually.
It's amazing that he races with one screen at this level.
What's more stressful?
I would think you would have triples.
Cheering for somebody
or VR.
Something, or being in it. It's definitely by far watching what's going on. These guys.
You don't see many guys at the pro level of VR, do you?
Hundreds of races these drivers have run.
Oh,
nobody.
Maybe.
Leagues,
yeah.
All that they've been involved on iRacing through their entire careers. I can't imagine.
I mean, the NASCAR guys you see run VR.
how pressure packed
None.
this is. Again, the difference between first and
Hey Bobby, I
second
sent you a
is
video
rain
there on
and how this one
Messenger.
settles out. So I can't imagine what that.
Another one. Look at the hit. Look at this hit.
Greg, I said not to send that to me during the live stream.
That we're in this Championship 4 finale live at the NASCAR Hall of Fame here in Charlotte. There is
They just need to make VR a little bit more comfortable.
which stands to the victor and the victor only, who will add their name and be the
Problem with
15th
VR was always
champion
it's very
in
very
the
hot
series
to
history
wear.
of this championship, which has been going
But
on.
I think VR is the cheapest way to get into the sport.
Well of this live event is yes, it does add a lot of
As the most
That's a hell of a hit.
and those moments of joy.
That's a
that are
nice
often
suspension for a
not
couple days
able
too,
for
especially
us
after
to
what
see
he did
unless
in the Leaf
we
game
catch him
too.
on the webcam at home.
Jesus.
In front of us. We talk through eNascar overtime.
Is that really needed in a
procedures. So as
preseason game?
many
Like
as 3
seriously?
attempts to finish this race.
Is Scott Stevens back?
We come to the green flag, it'll be 2 laps to go. If we get all the way around to 1 lap to get to the white flag, then this race would
3
be
attempts.
official. However, Blake, if we don't get to the
Now
white
my
flag,
question is, did they all fuel up full of fuel when they pitted?
maximum of 3 opportunities. We've seen this
That's a
lot this
good
year.
call out.
You know, we have, and I think that's why having all this experience
Doesn't matter now, does it?
is so important. I wouldn't write off those.
You
guys.
got what you got.
Talking a lot about Wilson and Zelensky right
Because
now.
I'm wondering
I
if
would not write off
Zelensky didn't
Parker
take a lot of
White,
fuel because he
Graham
tried to
Boland
get
at
2
all.
tires
All it takes
and the
is
least
one
amount
little
of fuel.
skirmish between those two. They have a little bit of a run.
But if you're the 48 and you're behind, would it make sense to come in and get fuel?
Try and make those
I
moves.
would if they have a second one maybe.
The nerves are high for me. I can't imagine what it is for them.
That helpless feeling, no control over it, and it's all
they-
under
Yeah, if you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it.
left us here at the desk. He's also going to be on trophy duties.
He has to, 18 has to get a restart or he's done.
He needs to push the 97 through the corner up into the 10.
He got ahead of him last time. It worked.
But he was on the outside, I think.
No, it's this time. It's perfectly lined up the way they were last time. It's the same way.
I would not want to be that QT car there.
Who's the control car? Who wins the drag race?
Oh, he got it
To
again.
turn number 1, it's a temp
Wow.
number 1
But he
at
didn't get far
overtime.
enough.
Green flag in the air.
Oh, they touch.
He pulls alongside. Does he clear Wilson? There's time.
He's on the outside. Can he drive? Oh,
He's going to send it.
Right on his bumper.
He got it. He's clear. He's clear.
See, that's what Bobby needs. He needs to
Watch
run the
white.
bottom. Run the bottom,
Yep.
Bobby.
Now he is, but Steven Wilson has
Need a
Parker
53 to
White
mess
out
with
there
the
behind
10.
him. If Zelensky
Yep.
has to go wherever
Oh,
he
Bobby goes for it.
Wilson's going to shoot it down to the bottom. Here comes
He went
Zelensky.
for the win.
man, dumb move.
That was not a good move. He went for the win.
Yeah, but the 53's pushing.
And here comes Parker White. Does he make it 4 wide as they come?
Oh my God!
This might cause a problem.
Holy shit! Oh, he's washing up.
4 wide for the
Oh my God! Come on.
Eat the wall. Eat the wall. Eat the
This
wall.
This is
White.
amazing.
Eat
Look
the
at
wall.
White.
Eat the wall. Eat the wall.
Oh! How did they
Oh
say
my
that?
God.
Wow.
Oh
And he's going to send it.
Ice.
no.
He bumped him into the wall.
Oh, what a recover!
You won. I told you Parker's going to
Holy
What?
shit! Wow.
What a win!
win. He came out of nowhere.
Holy
Never saw
He
that
came
coming.
out of nowhere.
Man, that was awesome.
That was a good win. That was a good race.
I hope he goes to Waffle
No,
House.
His mama.
You ever
Oh, it's
notice
his
it's
mama.
of you guys that win this?
He's $100,000 richer.
Mom's having a heart attack.
She was.
My house is getting paid off.
She was good on
Hell yeah.
on the pre-race too.
You ever notice it's the chubby guys that win this series?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bobby had it and he blew it.
He hit him
You
too.
blew it.
He hit. He did. He shouldn't have gone for the win.
Oh, they're wrecking
He
under.
ran into the back of that guy.
Was it the 66 again?
No,
I'm not
they were
gonna
driving
lie.
into each other after the race unintentionally.
I lost track of White.
Good lord.
I was too worried about the
They
10
were-
and Zelensky.
They were 4 wide to
That
the white flag.
was that. He's a Williams driver, isn't he? No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they just won the championship for the Williams thing then too.
Lap on the night for Parker White.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool. Good for him.
And his mom cannot
Oh,
believe
so, all right, let's look at the setup. Look at that monitor.
You guys are going to Disney World.
Look how it's tilted now.
and just
He's tall.
for Parker
That's
White to
crazy.
hang
That's a
on
big
again.
boy.
Zelensky with the
Yeah, he's not that tall. His monitors are just too low.
What are you willing to do to try
Another one using a formula wheel.
and we saw what Zielinski was
That's
doing.
interesting.
He tried to move Parker White out of the way. He sustains the hit. He keeps it on the wall. Wilson's not able to keep up.
Yeah, here it is.
That was crazy.
I forgot how many laps were left. I thought I was like, oh, this has got a couple more laps left. It went
Watch
really fast.
Bobby. He makes some crazy moves here.
He is an eNascar champion.
On his older tires, too.
I lost track of Parker. I wasn't even paying attention to him.
I said Bobby needed to stay on the bottom, and he chose to drive it so hard in that one corner.
Oh, I didn't think Bobby was going to clear him.
I didn't either.
I think going for the lead's what cost it.
Yeah, like right here, he dives and he blocks, but he went way too deep. If he could have kept it down on the bottom.
Yeah, shut that lane down.
And that set White up for this.
Yep. 3 cars wide.
Oh, he's getting a hell of a toe
Look at
right
the
there.
toe.
How about the 97, though? Kind of letting her roll.
He gets wrecked.
And Wilson overdrove. If Wilson didn't overdrive this turn, he would have won.
Yeah, but the 97 gets wrecked because of this.
Yeah, watch Wilson. Watch how close this was to taking Zielinski's
He's
bumper.
trying to stay off of him. Oh, he did not wreck it.
A little bit of contact there from Minters. He's trying to get off the wall, and then right here.
I'm surprised Zielinski did that.
In the old car, that's a
Why?
that's a wreck.
Hits him square, doesn't spin him out. White gets
Wow, that was close.
Zielinski going up to try and side.
He's lucky Zielinski didn't take his right rear out.
Why
Yeah,
did
he
the,
is.
why
Right
did the
left.
48 hit the 97 there?
Yeah, did you see that for third?
Watch coming to pit road if they show it again.
Was that who was doing it on pit road?
Bobby
There was
pulled
a
the
bunch of
Austin Dillon move there. I mean, he drove it into that guy and tried to wreck him, but he wrecked himself.
Man, that's wild.
What would have happened if Zielinski would have wrecked Parker like that?
They need to adjust his hat. I know that.
Nothing. He would have won it. To be fair.
What if you don't like Coke?
Yeah, really. He's like,
Do you
"Can I
really
Coke
care in that
Zero?"
moment?
I don't give a shit. 100 grand, I'll drink anything.
Yeah, I think at the moment I don't think you really care.
I'll
He
drink
gave him a
this for that.
child's hat.
So they had to take the whole. He had to.
Oh, let the man fix his hat. Come on.
He looks ridiculous.
But he's racing the greatest sim racers in the service on iRacing right now.
What camera
And,
footage did they
that was
playing
intense.
this on? Dial
All
up?
those guys put it on the line, and he was in a good spot.
The stream is awful right now.
To take care of himself in those final few corners and was able to pull it out. But a great effort.
Sure,
by
good
Bobby
old
and the rest of
Coke
the
belch.
drivers.
Shot live on an Android phone.
This guy is sweating. He's soaking wet. I mean, they are up there. Some of his nerves, some of
Junior.
a bit of work. They're up there working their guts out. So, good job, man.
Well, I hope he has the strength. Let's present the trophy, Parker White, the Dale Earnhardt
Nothing worse than a
Jr.
left-handed
championship trophy.
Shake.
Champion for 2024. Your eNascar.
Is he
strong?
They already got his
picture on the front of it.
I love how. Oh my god. He,
Yeah, they got them all printed up so they can stick it on there. That's what they used to do back in the day, too.
Good for that dude.
I want to know what happens to all the other plaques. Do they just burn them or melt them quickly?
They're sent to third world countries.
Yeah, some kid in Africa is going to get a Bobby Zielinski 2024 championship plate.
What the hell
Jeez.
is what the hell is eNascar?
Again, we can't hear.
Turn on your mic, Alan Cavana.
That's the radio broadcast.
Yeah.
Must be Fox.
Yeah, really, it's Fox again.
Early's back.
Yeah, but the cameraman can't be Fox. It'd be up his nose if it was cameraman.
Can we get a little tighter?
Tap on that mic a little
If
bit.
they get any tighter, they're gonna pop his pimples.
We'll continue hearing
Let
from
the man
our
fix his
champion
hat.
winner. We'll talk to some of the other drivers
I know,
as
that's
well
driving me
here,
nuts.
in
Who is the guy in the
championship
background,
four. I
or
think a lot
with
of the conversation we had as well
Pasoko
coming
here?
into this was,
That's Blake McCandless.
And he was saying that he's going to be trying to get the series next year.
Four guys have been here at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's gonna run Road to Pro or whatever, or he's run it before but didn't make it.
That it was going to be a difference maker because he was
Him
in
and
the
his brother
conversation the whole
Cecil,
night of
they run the
driving the whole
87s.
night.
They're
They
pretty
had
popular in
one
those
real
cars.
opportunity, that he
When
had
I do
where
The
those-
local track announcer.
perfectly
Yeah,
lined
when
up.
I do those charity 87 events with Junior, he's always in those races.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. See you later.
Later.
See ya,
Hey,
John.
Curly.
See you, John.
See ya, John. Take it easy, bud.
That hat is pissing me off.
Isn't
It's
it?
so bad.
Fix the mic.
Did they not expect the guy to have a big head?
He's saying right now he's going to
They
buy
were
his mom her trailer.
I'm gonna read
They
his
were
lips.
surprised at who the Final Four were.
I'm going to Disney World.
Can someone just say they're gonna buy hookers and some booze?
What? You wouldn't buy that?
I just want them to say it on a broadcast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't buy it, you have somebody else buy it. You're not Denny Hamlin.
That's true.
Now their mics suck.
That's great.
Fox must.
Oh, this
be
is
doing
something
this.
with the audio, huh?
Fox is definitely doing this.
We talk about how maybe this series has become the most competitive it's ever been. How it's difficult for new
Is everybody hearing the music still?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's only in my left.
They have some.
It's only coming
Same
from my
here.
left.
Same.
Mono.
the most dominant cars over the last 3-4 years. Yeah, it's really impressive. And again, I think you could see this coming. His
that was a badass finish.
So much of what we saw out of Stephen
That was worth it.
Years ago comes onto the scene.
Well, that's 2 of 3, Mike, that we've watched that had great finishes. Last year
that was a great.
Last year's was just a boring one because it was all there was no cautions.
I thought White was too far back to really be in the mix, and so I wasn't really watching him. You know,
I forgot about it.
Well, and
Right.
48 even almost got there too.
Never let that deter him. Didn't let any of the
I want to hear from Bobby. I want to hear the interview with Bob.
Him executed on pit road, hit the right strategy when he needed to, and then when the time was right to finally make the winning move, he went for it. And it's
I mean, what would Bobby do differently there? I mean, he did. All he did was he wrecked on that. He pushed into Parker that final time, got him into the wall, got up beside him, and then just spun out. But if he didn't spin out, he would have won it.
Wilson's the one that lost it. He overdrove that corner.
Yeah, Wilson lost it.
So Tyler, you said that Zelensky has a disability. What is
Yeah,
it?
when he, I don't know what it is, but when he stands up, he does not, and I don't mean this negative, but he's not standing normal. He's definitely got something with his shoulders, and if you look at his limbs, it looks like he's got some sort of something. I don't know what it is, but he's definitely. I think Mike, you picked up on that last year when we saw him.
He couldn't even walk out hardly. Like he walked like a Notre Dame hunchback of Notre Dame. But no, he kind of would hunch along, and I think he has MS or maybe he has
some sort of dystrophy or something like that.
So I noticed that when he was driving, and I thought he just leaned severely. And is it scoliosis, maybe?
It might be scoliosis, yeah. Curvature
I
of the
think it's
spine.
more than that because you can see it go down to his limbs. I've got a form of scoliosis, definitely not crazy or anything like that, but I don't know. His extremities look a little off too.
Celebration going on here, and I think still kind of a sense of disbelief here. I think with many of these drivers and these fans who again had some ones that were happy and
It's
some
a cut
that
line.
right now. Here's a look at 11 through 20. So Zelensky ends up.
Oh, that's not the cut line. That's
That's results.
I think can also, Blake, come to a trade-off of what's worth it, right? We mentioned there's.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see that halfway.
Third and fourth. Bobby basically going for the.
Where'd the 66 finish?
May have ended up giving up P2 or 3 in the championship with that attempt. For sure, and want to give a shout out to
Number 1 in TV time for sponsor.
No doubt.
Drivers who debut very well.
Micro Center paid him a little extra.
The hero card is the race version. It's just all fucked up.
He just got a free computer.
He wasn't last. He was 32nd.
Wow.
Yeah, but Ifuko, when he made his fill-in start, got a 12th. Mercurio an 18th, so top 20.
He drives for Tony Kanaan.
Drivers. They're taken from that pool of the highest non-qualified.
Yeah, Tony's got a real personal connection to Micro Center.
Yes, he does.
Tony is smaller, way smaller than I expected. He is tiny. He's the same size as my 13-year-old.
Well, look, IndyCar drivers are like horse jockeys. They're like a little short.
I was so surprised.
Just kind of tell us about this one. We kind of knew that you would be good going into this. The favorite for many, and at least for much of this race, had been in control.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, we started up front, hit the Q lap. That was a good start, and then we just had control. We had good speed. Parker was right behind me that whole race, though, man. I have to give props to him. He was great all week in testing. Like, he's just been lights out the whole year, matching me and making me work harder. So I'm seeing here Graham got third, so that's top 3 for the North Force. 3 out of the 4 guys who were here, so that's good for us, and it's good as a team, setup team, that we can bring that speed and get those finishes.
Looking at the end of this race, I know a lot of those late race restarts. How difficult was it to try and maintain and hold your track position up there?
Yeah, you know, Tucker and Bobby worked together, so they were lined up on the bottom, giving kind of countdowns probably, kind of telling Bobby when to go, so that was making it harder for me, and I just didn't execute those last 2 really. I mean,
How old is this
if I
kid?
could've rolled into it a little better, timed it, you know, probably would have won the race, but
It's probably early 20s. It's in college.
I just kind of missed turn 2 there, and
It's kind of not fun watching the college series because he's in it and he just dominates.
He just cleans house.
We saw Bobby go for the 2-tire stop that gave him the track position late and kind of flip things for almost.
I just feel like if you're in this series, you shouldn't be able to be in the other series.
Or was the fact that you guys were so strong for all
Correct. I agree.
You know what I mean? Kind of like what they tried doing with the Cup guys and Xfinity and all that.
I mean, we could make up spots almost anywhere on the racetrack.
And if you're a pro, you shouldn't be allowed to run the college series.
I think if I took 2 and had the lead, it probably would have been better off for me. Probably could have won the championship here tonight, but it is what it is.
Because that's going towards tuition, you know what I mean?
It's just how the racing was. Me and Bobby were racing hard, and then Parker came in there at the end, so it was just a lot of fun.
I know you've been dominant the last 2 years.
All right, boys, I'm going to slip out and catch the last hour of the debate.
Going forward,
All right, see ya. Thanks
See you,
for
brother.
showing.
Yep, fun, guys.
Awesome.
Looks good, Bobby.
What does the future look like for Steven Wilson?
Yeah, of course, we're going to come back next year and just hope to be just as strong. You know, we've got good momentum. It's still
looks
second
really
place
good, Bobby.
tonight. It's still $50,000.
Thanks. Yeah, that's gonna be my Talladega car.
We'll be back for that next year, and I'm sure that if we bring this speed, I'm confident myself to be able to come back here again.
Oh, that'll be cool,
What was
man.
different about this experience this year, having done it before? Were there less jitters? Was there more confidence?
Hey, Bobby, I forgot to ask you about that wallpaper I was looking for my triples.
Yeah, send me some
From that
screens. Send me some screenshots.
Nerves are going, the excitement, the adrenaline. If that's not going,
Hey, your resolution.
Like
so, yeah, I was for sure.
well,
nervous
the
going into the
screen.
race.
Oh, I'm running
Qualifying lap, that takes a lot
1440p
off, knowing I started
times
second
triple.
up there with Parker, not having to work
So
with
you
the
need to
field,
know the
which obviously
number.
Graham and Bobby were able to do anyway, but also, yeah, really fun racetrack tonight. We were able to.
Oh, that's right. You're not running the 4K anymore.
Good to see.
Right,
Graham
I
going
turned
up.
it down.
I got 23 spots up in front of me here looking at, so it's good that passing was available on the racetrack tonight, and it led to that 4-wide.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot easier to work with.
Would have wanted 1 spot better in the championship, but
It's
nevertheless,
2560 by
still in NASCAR
1440
now, and I know
times
for years
3.
to come. I know you have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, it's the same as mine
A
are.
little bit short, but sir, good run, Steven, and you know, been back here a number of times. Every year we've done it, you've been back here. Wouldn't be shocked at the same in 2025.
All right, I'm gonna hop off.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, I think I'm out too. Thanks,
Good
guys,
watching
for
with you
showing.
boys. That was fun.
I guess I'll stop
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah, I think we're done.
To go down to the contender series, so we'll see him. In
We'll
the
see
light
y'all.
college
Take care,
series,
man.
I'm sure in some other things as he is.
See you guys.
in many
Later,
different
boys.
aspects, but again, even though it's not
See
a
ya.
championship, is on one of the more dominant runs we've seen in kind of modern day. Dominant runs we've seen in